we've now seen that chance increase from 60 to 70% chance of development into a depression or named storm in the next 48 hours. That chance goes up to 90% in the next 2 to 5 days, which case, as we make our way in through the next several days, it will eventually leave the southern end of the Gulf of Mexico down in the Bay of Campeche and head northward, pushing towards the North Gulf Coast. It will still be dealing with some uncertainty of that forecast track as we're still narrowing down those forecast details, but nonetheless, as it makes its way northward, it's going to be impacting portions of the Gulf Coast with some rough surf, some gusty winds, and also some tropical downpours. As we make our way down here and cross towards the southern end of the Gulf of Mexico, we got the water vapor imagery loop, seeing any tight convective circulation going on around the center of the storm system. And right now, there's dry air getting sucked in towards that general circulation, which is keeping it from developing right now. But we anticipate that this moisture plume you see coming on the right-hand side of it to really start to take over, going around that general area of circulation. And we're going to start to kick out the dry air, in which case it'll really start to get the system going, getting a little more organized, and then eventually it will be on the move, heading northward across the Gulf. You can see the surface winds right here as you look through your forecast model data going forward in through time. As we make our way northward, the circulation will be very much on the broad side of things. So that there's nothing tightly packed around it. There's no hurricane eye. There's no very tight center of circulation. It's very broad. You can see right there going in through Friday morning. But nonetheless, we can see some of those surface winds starting to impact places like New Orleans and portions of the North Gulf Coast. And on the back end of it, surface winds coming out of a northeasterly direction for us here in Houston. As we go through the day on Friday, eventually the center of that system starts to make its way northward, and it does get a little more organized, a little more tightly packed as it starts to make its approach towards its eventual landfall. Timing of the landfall looks to be roughly Saturday morning during the first half of the day. Where exactly that center of the storm goes, we still have yet to be determined, but it pretty much could be anywhere between Houston and over in towards portions of Mississippi and Alabama. Right now, looking likely in towards the central portions of Louisiana, but regardless of where it goes, it's still going to be, for the most part, a big rainmaker. We're talking about several inches of tropical rain as well as some breezy winds. We're not anticipating, though, massive storm surge. We're not anticipating wind gusts in excess of like 100+ miles per hour. No, for the most part, this should be just a depression, or maybe at best a weak tropical storm coming through across the Gulf Coast. Take a look at the tropical moisture right there. As you go from the blue to yellow to orange and red, you start to go from dry air towards that very tropical-like air mass. And we can see all that tropical moisture around that general area of circulation, still very much broad for Friday's time frame. But as it makes its way northward, we're now bringing that plume of tropical moisture in towards the mouth of the Mississippi, and then it gets transferred over, up and over it, and coming on the back end right down here towards the Houston metro area. Earlier on today, I was showing the same forecast model, and it had that center of circulation right there, right in our own doorstep, but it then got pushed further to the east as we're starting to see more forecast data coming on it. And it will go back and forth over time and eventually narrowing down on a more precise path, which should take it pretty much in towards the Louisiana-Texas border right there. But the good news with this system, if we can at least look at some good news right there, because somebody will be impacted by the worst of the storm. Us here in the Houston metro area, while we see all that tropical moisture coming on in, how much of that actually gets squeezed out in the form of scattered showers and thunderstorms. With dry air potentially getting sucked on down the back end of it, we may cut off seeing some of those higher rainfall totals and may actually cut off in general who gets the rain and who just get clouds overhead. But pushing in through Friday and towards Saturday, we can see the bulk of the rainfall being out there towards the east. So it's not out of the question that we just may get some scattered showers for Saturday's time frame, and that's about it. Some breezy winds, some rough wave activity up by the coastal areas, but for the most part, the bulk of that heavy rainfall is going to be out towards our eastern areas. We're talking about portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, which could get into that 3 to 5+ range in terms of rainfall totals over the next several days. Us here in the Houston metro area, the further west you are, the less likely you're to see accumulating rain showers in those rain buckets, so to speak. But the closer you are towards the east, you're looking at about 1.5 inches to close to about 2 inches of rainfall as you make your way in towards the border with Louisiana. So make sure you do keep your push notifications on right there for your KHOU 11 app as we get more potential for development of this system in the Gulf Coast. And we have more forecast changes coming our way as we go through the week ahead. For your forecast right here in Houston, we start off partly cloudy with temperatures in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Around lunchtime, yep, the heat is certainly on. We have those numbers rising into the low 90s. Feeling though into the low triple digits, and then by the time we get towards the afternoon hours, we anticipate seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, not looking them to be on the range of intensity that we did see yesterday afternoon through the evening hours, but nonetheless, as we try to look on the positive side of things, at least we did get a brief break from the heat as those temperatures definitely cooled down with that rain-cooled air coming on down once the storms pass. Heading throughout your 7-day forecast, 30% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms out there for your afternoon hours today, high of 96. By Thursday, it's a high of 95, feeling like 105 with 30% chance of scattered showers, and then all eyes will be on the tropics with that system making its way northward. It's going to be a 50% chance heading in through Friday and into Saturday's time frame with breezy winds coming out of a northeasterly direction and scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms as well for Saturday's time frame. Temperature-wise, though, you can see those temperatures go down to roughly around 90 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday because of the anticipated cloud cover from the system. So at least that's one silver lining we can see right there with this system coming our way, bringing some much-needed rainfall, a brief break from the heat and humidity before we see those temperatures starting to climb back, heading into Monday and Tuesday of next week.